Well, hey there guys, and welcome back to 97.8 FM, Soothing Sounds of Snipey. I hope you're ready for something a little different today. I'm doing a tutorial. It's my first video in over 2 months, and I apologize to those of you who are subscribed, and for any newcomers, please don't take this as how I'm going to conduct myself in the future. I plan to be more consistent starting now, but the last 2 months have been kind of crazy. Anyway, today's video is a tutorial in Mario Tennis Aces. A friend of mine has had issues with this game, with this particular slippery mofo, no pun intended. Blooper has to be one of the hardest characters in the game, and so I'm going to attempt to instruct at least to a certain extent, and then I'm going to just play the game because he is hard and I can't play him at the same time. So first thing you want to do, obviously, is not do that. You want to move around a lot, obviously. Don't ever stick to one side. You always want to kind of recenter, just so you have time to get to the other side. And always be wary of that freaking pole, yes, because he will bounce shots off of it, and you can do the same, but it's pretty risky, especially with power shots. You just never know. Another good tip, charging on these pads is a pivotal way of building up your meter very quickly. Ooh, that was good. And the more you send it back to him, star shot, because it's powerful, it'll offset him like that and constantly send star power back to you. So you can build up your special and smash his racket. He does not, I'm gonna do it. This will be the first racket I smash. He did. And so you only have 3 of these to do, so it's fairly easy if you can get the rhythm down. And that's kind of what I liked about the story mode in this game, is that it really, each boss especially, really helps you to learn the different techniques, and it's a great learning tool. It's kind of a tutorial mixed with a story mode, mixed with mini games. Let me focus here a bit. Another thing is yes, when you charge your shot, when it's fully charged, your racket will like glare, and it does like a special effect, and it allows you to know that it's at maximum. So as soon as that glare pops up and you tap the hit button again, you'll send it back with maximum force and increase your odds of having him send a star shot onto your side, therefore setting up for either you building your gauge or you're building oh shoot, I've lost my no, lost my train of thought. But yeah, you can use the stars to either build up your gauge or send one of those hits back, and you can either send it to him and damage his racket, but I choose just to avoid him entirely and shoot to either side of the court where he won't get to it, because you know, if you're just you might as well save up for a special to break his racket one time, as opposed to, you know, tap it in. No, you want to take it out one shot, because he's just too tricky, and he'll send it back each time, risking you losing a point, or him gaining a point on you, I mean. That's another thing, learning the timing on a serve is pivotal. Like, if you can master that, and I'm not saying I've mastered it, but I have increased my times in landing a perfect serve, and it will, especially if it's a power shot, it will send him flying in a certain direction and offset him for that next shot to where he can't get to it. So it works out. Let's see, I'm just gonna break your racket. God, the graphics in this game are awesome. You're never gonna make it. And I mean, once you get around these things, the pole in the middle does really present a challenge sometimes if you allow him to make it a problem. Ah, no! I find that when I'm like in the zone and I'm playing him perfectly, he gets it maybe once or twice. He doesn't usually hit that middle pillar and screw me up. Especially with my tactic of staying in the middle. Dang. Took me out. How dare you? Now I'm using my fire racket, which feels like cheating because I wanted to show you guys on just the normal racket. Oh my goodness. Blooper. Okay, I need to calm down and take my own advice. There we go. And sometimes if he's offset enough and he arcs that up in the air like that, it will hit the propeller and go back onto his side or off into the water. Like, there are so many ways to screw him up. He's not nearly as hard as he appears to be because he is tricky and he does some crazy stuff. But if you're consistent and you continue to use at least the base, more important moves, you can beat him fairly easily. Now I'm going to show you what move I never use. Oh my god, a double fault, that's amazing. I got a point. That's awesome. That's twice it's happened recently. Yeah, give me that full charge. See? And it's like once you get that full charge on a star, it just, man, it makes all the difference. So you just gotta stay active on the court, make sure you try to get as many fully charged shots as you possibly can, and use those specials as soon as you get them. Don't use the star for the mini special. Just doesn't make sense with Blooper. You might as well just hold out for the full shebang. Get it. Oh, give me my special. Yes, it did. It's a good tennis game. I mean, the base game is actually the best tennis game I've ever played by Mario. You know, like, best Mario tennis game yet in terms of gameplay. Because they've taken all the gimmicks of all... See? Beat him bad. Of all the tennis games that Nintendo's created, I think the first one on 64... I mean, the first one technically was on Virtual Boy, but the first 3D one on 64 felt like a beautiful mixture of arcade and simulation. It held its own against virtual tennis and games like that, whereas later games had so much more going on arcade-wise that it just kind of threw off that balance. And I feel like this takes all of those gimmicks, all the things that made each game unique, and turns it into something a bit more manageable, a bit more approachable. It just doesn't seem as gimmicky because they've reduced it to a much more well put together gameplay experience. The one thing I'll say I miss is having a cinematic for defensive moves, but the new move that they put in place, it acts just as well, it just doesn't have a cinematic, and I'm good at it, I'm not great at it, and that's the one move that I don't use, you know, where the ball is on the other side of the court and you jump over in slow motion to tap it back into play. And I just haven't gotten to the point where I've needed to really use it. So once I find opponents that I need to actually, you know, start thinking about that, I'm probably not going to add it to my gameplay. But there was just that level of cinematic nature from like the GameCube version that I miss. But other than that, it's a great game. I really enjoy it. I think the story mode is cool. It's not great. It's not where I would like to see a story mode in a Mario sports game, but it's cool. It serves its purpose. thank you guys for watching. That's the end of this video. I'm actually doing a second part to this video where I teach you guys how to beat Kamek. Kamek is considerably harder than Blooper, and he's not actually necessary to continue in the game, but he does give you a racket that is pretty boss. Can't remember exactly which one it is. I think it's the shell, and you know, it's just nice to have all the rackets. So if you're trying to figure out how to do that, follow me on this journey. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take it easy.